Viewer discretion is advised while watching this program. The thoughts and views expressed are solely those of the two hosts. Going to be a good episode here tonight.
Oh man, it's going to be so good. I got a lot of catch up for the show. Great.
This is going to be one of the best shows ever. I just got a feeling. I
hope people see it too, because our last episode was great, and then there's not many views. I think it depends when I drop the episode. You know.
Yeah.
It's really we gotta figure this thing out when to put it out. Maybe Thursday mornings. I don't know.
Hey, I can't see you.
No,
can you see me?
No, I can see me.
Huh.
Is your camera on?
Yeah, I can see me, but I can't see you.
I can see me, but I can't see you. Here, let me see. Turn it off, and then turn it on again. Yep. Press your camera thing off and on. See if that works. It never seems to work when I call you.
Like I can see me, but I can't see you.
Okay.
Let me call you.
Okay, this is gonna be the thumbnail because we'll get more cooking. You'll see later.
Stand by.
We'll get the cook people on. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
Here we are.
Did it.
We're here.
Technology. Whoa, that's a cool shirt.
Yeah, man. I wore some merch all weekend. I'm merched out for now until I do the laundry on Wednesday.
Nice. I got a bunch of sweet work.
So we've got a lot to cover.
So much to cover.
I'm gonna sing. We're gonna hit my music. I'm not gonna fall asleep.
Oh shit!
You give me the cue when you're gonna hit my music, and I'm gonna sing because we got a victory song to sing on for this week, and I think you guys know the words. I think you guys might know the words by now. It's a catchy little tune, but
after the main event.
Yeah, we're gonna have some sore tonsils today.
Yeah. Sore tonsils tomorrow.
What do you got there?
An omelet, potatoes.
Damn, pal, you be making some fancy dancy stuff.
And start off with I got an adult beverage that I was at Grocery Outlet Vegas, and I was like looking around the beer section. I got like one like a Voodoo Ranger or whatever. But then I turned around and I was like, oh, I remember this. You ever had one of these bad boys?
Oh, yeah, I have.
I had one.
When I first turned 21, over there on East Lemon, and I was on a fixed income, and those were really cheap. And I remember that's before I had capabilities of watching the Eagles or being able to listen to them. And I remember they were playing the freaking Rams in the first game, and I couldn't watch or listen. I was just devastated sitting on the patio on East Lemon. Drank 2 of those. Boy, I threw my guts right up, man. First, last, and only time I drank those Old Englishes.
Oh man, first time I got drunk. I mean, I could give you 2 guesses, but first first two don't count on who I was with that time.
Are his initials J and H?
Yeah, for sure.
Lucky guess.
He made this friend at Maple named Chase. Did you ever meet Chase?
Maybe not. No.
He lived with Joey.
I can't say I have, but possibly.
He lived with Joey briefly, and he was some kind of like ward of the state somehow, or like his dad was definitely a drug dealer or involved with drug dealings, because they always lived in some hood place, but they had like hood rich shit, like white like tiger rugs and like fancy paintings on the wall, or like they were pretending to be fancy. So like one night we were staying the night at Joey's, but we were really staying the night at Chase's, because I think if I had said where I was going, it was the nefarious part of town.
Which would be where F in East Lemon, or
I think it was like
MRO.
I think it was like College. You go down College to like past H Street, like towards the
high school,
but like away from the high school towards A, like you're going towards A, but like what's I know this sounds stupid, but what's before H? That street behind like
by Tom's?
Yeah, by Tom's. That street.
Ooh.
What is
that? G?
That might be G. So anyway,
F?
I don't think it was F. I think it was right behind.
So it's probably G, because I lived on East Lemon and F. So yeah, that had to be.
But
G.
like, you know how there were shitty apartments like further over?
Yeah.
They lived in there, but they had some hood rich shit. And then it was funny because the plan was already known by Chase's dad, and we walked in, and Chase's dad's like, "I'll tell you right now, you're welcome here anytime. But if you fuck up, you're getting the fuck out, or I'll fuck you up." Or gave us a stern, more than a dad warning.
Like a pep talk.
Huh?
Like a pep talk.
Yeah, pep talk. Like, you can fuck around here, but don't find out, type shit. So then Chase's uncle was sent with us, and we walked over to that little liquor store that's still there next to Alfie's and the little Mexican.
Poloni's.
Huh?
It used to be called Poloni's, but I think it's called
Poloni's. They're
like Highway 1 Liquor now.
It was Poloni's then, I think. And we were like 16, or I was 16, something like that. And it was funny because we were given I never really drank before. I drank, but like not like to get drunk, or not a lot. So like the uncle's pretty much taking our orders before we go in. And like, I'm like, I don't know what to drink. Like, you guys are the drinkers, Joey and Chase. And they're like, I'll do like 240s. Each of them said they could do 240s. So I was like, I'll only do 140. I don't want to push it. I don't know my limits, you know? So then we go to the Poloni's. He gets like 540s, maybe 6, one for himself. And then we go back, and we're just drinking in Chase's bedroom. Chase's little brother hops in through the window and starts drinking out of one of the 40. Like, he's like 10 or 12 or something. It was like weird shit, man. Like weird little hood kids. And then so I'm getting drunk. I finished mine. They didn't even finish one of theirs. They were both like either bullshitters or like having a bad night. And then I think Joey sensed that we should probably not be staying the night there. So somehow we go walk around town drunk as 15, 16-year-olds. And then Joey's girlfriend at the time was cheerleader, and she pulls, the football game had just ended at like 10 p.m. So she pulls up like around the corner on H, and all of a sudden we're like, hey! And then she gave us a ride back to Joey's. That was it. I didn't even puke.
Happy ending.
I mean, yeah, happy ending. I don't know if Joey got a happy ending from his girlfriend at the time, but
dude, that's an incredible story.
Yeah, oldie, thanks to Chase's uncle, who I don't know if he's still alive, but R.I.P. either way.
That's quite a story.
Yeah. So now when I taste this, I'm like, it takes me back to that day. Next time I go over, we should go sit by the shitty apartments on G Street. No, probably not.
And drink 640s? Hey, I think
Drink too.
I was with Joey the first time he got drunk.
Yeah.
And I think there's a video of it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
If we look hard enough. He was a lightweight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, when they had a lot of bravado, they were talking shit. And I was like, no, I can't drink 240s. I've never even had 140. And I don't know, I beat both of them. So maybe the Irish blood, or I don't know what it is, but
You hooked up, man.
I was bigger for sure. So
it was time to hook up, and you hooked up.
Yep.
So since we spoke last, the flat iron grill is operational.
Ooh.
Haven't used it yet, but it's ready to roll. The chair and table in the kitchen is ready to be used.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick came over on Sunday and spent over 4 hours here hooking up the new modem and router. So
oh shit.
All that shit that I've purchased is operational and functional.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah.
You needed a new modem and router?
Yeah, I did. The one that I had was over 10 years old, and I got it from friend of the show, Ramiro, and Ramiro had talked me through it on what I needed to get, and he sent me all the stuff that I needed, and I went and bought it about a week or so ago, and then I've been in communication with Pat, and then Pat, I had to bribe him with a freaking steak dinner, but he came over, and I don't know if he thought it was going to take as long as it did, but it was a solid 4 hours to get this thing up and running. So
sometimes those things are a bitch.
This was a bitch one. So shout out to Pat. Thanks again, Pat. I can't thank you enough for you spending your day off doing that with over here.
At the IT guy.
Pat the IT guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good to go with the stuff.
Have you noticed the difference? Are things running smoother?
Yes. So Pat, he had hooked one up at his place, but I guess before he did it, he didn't do it before and after. He didn't do it before speed test. I don't think we'd have to. Pat, if you're listening, comment down below if you did one at your place. But he had texted me the night before. He said when he comes over, he wanted to do one before and after. So we did the before, and I had two lines, and one of them was like 84, and the other one was 199. So then by the time Pat got it finally up and running, we only got one IP address, but it's at 900. It's over 900 right now. So
crazy.
Yeah. So I'm not the most technologically savvy guy, and I don't know what that means. And I said that to Pat. I texted him when he was telling me. He's like, I was like, I don't know what that means, Pat, but it sounds really good. He said, it works really good. Or he said it runs fast or something. I was like, okay. So yeah, I guess if we have any tech guys, comment down below what any of that means. Well, according to Comcast, when I talked to them, because I wanted to upgrade my internet speed, and they told me that I didn't need to because I am paying for the second fastest speed you can get, but my equipment, which was like 800 Mbps, but when the chick at Comcast, they ran the test, she's like, Mr. Adams, your equipment is only capable of doing 200. I was like, oh. So that was the bottleneck there. So thanks again, Pat. Good Sunday here at the Swamp. Everything good happened except for the Phillies did not win on Sunday and clinch the division. They had to wait till Monday to do it, but they did clinch the division finally.
Help do that.
Trey Turner played like a bitch on Sunday. I think he had a couple hits yesterday. I didn't really get to watch the game yesterday, but I think they were all hungover because they partied hardcore last night, and they didn't do so well today. I think they had a little too much.
Win the fucking championship.
Yeah, they partied like they won the damn Super Bowl, not the freaking. Yeah. So they still need to win about 2 more games to get that first round bye. And I'm not sure how I feel about that first round bye because the Phillies never had, at least in these last 2 years, in these playoff runs they never had the bye. And they kind of started playing well during the wild card and the DS series. So I don't know how that's going to work. I have a feeling that it's not going to help the infamous Trey Turner and his hitting prowess because now he'll be rusty because he'll have about a week off before he has to like compete and hit. It's definitely not going to help his fielding because he's the worst fielder, as we've talked about and discussed.
Yeah, he's a real asshole.
It's a real asshole. He should be happy all the free publicity I'm giving him.
Yeah, he really should.
So I'm gonna go off the cuff today, and I'm gonna stand down and I'm gonna let you go first. And we're gonna talk.
I don't want to put you to sleep at the end.
No. We're gonna talk. You're gonna go first today, and I want to hear about your match this weekend. For those of you who don't know, Apostle Judah Matthew had a match at the Silverton Casino this past Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The 4-4 I talked about last week. We pretty much just dominated. I don't know. It was good. It was good back and forth, but I choke slammed a guy from the apron to inside the ring or whatever. I kicked the guy in the face. I'll put some clips up if I can find them. But yeah, it was pretty good. 1408. I'll put up some clips if I think of it or if I find them. It's hard to find sometimes. A lot of the clips I saw or the pictures I saw weren't the best, but yeah, it was a good show. Everybody else in the match was excited about it, so I think it was a success.
Right now, are you heel or face? Or your group? Is the group heel or face?
Heel.
Heel.
Yeah, we're heels. One of the guy that's like kind of the leader.
So for those of you who don't know, a heel is the bad guy, and the face would be the good guy.
Hmm?
So Mr. Apostle, even though he's a God-fearing Christian, is wrestling as the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of sacrilegious as a man of God to be a bad guy.
I mean, it's more like they just treat me like the bad guy, but I'm not. You know, like what I'm doing is right. It's just the way I do it, they don't like it, but that's their problem. It's not mine. I do the Lord's work, and this is what the Lord wants me to do. You know. Well, whatever. Anyway,
you jumped into character right there.
Yeah. But it was a good show overall. It was I got a raise. I got like another half a hot dog. I got a hot dog handshake and then another half a hot dog, so it was pretty good.
So yeah, you're up to 1.5 hot dogs.
Yeah, for a couple of years, maybe we'll get up to 2.
Maybe they'll put pickles and mustard on it next.
I don't want to get my hopes up with that kind of shit.
Pickles and
mustard. We'll see. But yeah, it seemed like a good show overall. It wasn't as packed as last Silverton show. The local guy's not having another show till October 12th, which is kind of like a somewhat long break, and then the one after that is October 26th. But the 12th, I'm going to be in San Ramon, California, wrestling at Puppet Master Dojo or whatever show in San Ramon's like kind of near San Jose. So I'm flying to San Jose, driving a rental car to there, wrestling. Probably sleep in the rental car instead because my flight back is the next morning at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So I'm like, I don't even want to buy a hotel if I got a free rental car. So that's kind of my wrestling career as it is. I think I'm going to do the October 26th show.
So back to the October 12th show. Do we need to plug? Do we need to plug the promotion? I think we should.
Yeah, I mean, it's San Ramon. I'll put up the flyer if I can find it. I'm facing this dude. I'll insert it. He's a small, like high flyery guy. I can't think of his name right now. Maybe I'll look it up so I'm not insulting. But yeah, it should be fun. Those shows are always fun. It's at like some sports complex where like they play indoor soccer and shit. They just put a tarp down and then put the ring up, and it's the crowd's usually good. Like, it's not a huge crowd, but it's usually a loud and rambunctious crowd. So a lot of kids.
Is this promotion with Jekyll's? Is this a Jekyll's?
Yeah,
is this
Jekyll's. He calls it. He runs a school called Puppet Master Dojo, because he likes Puppet Master, the movie. That's where his character's kind of based on. One of them was a jester, and that's what his school is called. And then he runs shows to kind of get his students on, but also he likes.
So he's running a school.
Yeah, he runs a school, and like he puts his students on these shows to like get them experience, and then he likes me for some reason, and always he like gives me enough where I can fly out and then still like break even or make a little money. So pretty cool. So
shout out to the Puppet Master. No, I don't want to get it wrong. Give him one more plug.
Yeah, it's the Puppet Master. Puppet Wars are the names of the shows. Let me see. Puppet Wars. I'm gonna put it up at
1845.
1845. I'll put the flyer up. I'll put up the picture of the guy I'm wrestling, and that's probably the next time I'm wrestling, unless something else comes up. There's about 45 tiny promotions in Vegas or like nearby that I never talked to though. But yeah, Puppet Wars Marionette Massacre is the show name. And then I'm facing Guapo Lupe. He's gonna be a formidable opponent. I think he's beaten several people on shows. So, but I'm claiming victory this time, guaranteed. Ooh, he's got Puppet Wars shirts. I might see if I can get one.
Merch? Maybe you could trade him an apostle shirt for a Puppet Wars shirt.
I don't think he'll want it. I think he's just making these shirts to get money, but like maybe. You never know. I'll take a Puppet Wars. But yeah, so and then what else? There's some guys locally that have been doing a lot of the WWE shows. They've been doing loops and going all over, so you never know. Like one of these guys, you come see one of these shows, and then they're fucking signed. Like Solo Sikoa, he was in FSW all the time before he got signed with WWE, and now he's like one of the top guys there.
So fun fact, last night's Monday Night Raw was in Ontario, and my friend Jose Hernandez, shout out, was at the show last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was sending me pictures. It was crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh, shit. And I only ended up watching the main event. But
yeah, one of the refs at our show he was driving there to do that show, do Raw, because he's getting tryouts as a ref or something. So.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah, and I think maybe some of the wrestlers too were getting tryouts as wrestlers. There's this big dude named Shogun, big black dude, and I bet he'll get signed. He's like as tall as me, but like heavier. Looks like he looks like he's younger. Looks like he could get signed. So I don't know. He's good.
Oh, so be on the lookout for Shogun. I'm sure he'll have a different name.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe like something like his name's he used to be like Shogun Jones, but I think you just call him Shogun now. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll turn to a samurai or stay in the same vein. But we'll see. And then so wrestling was fun. My lady brought her friend who does gay porn, but it's not gay. I don't know. He might be gay. If you do gay porn, you're a little gay, I think. I think we're going to his wedding next year. I don't know. We'll see. But he's marrying a lady. It's very confusing. But he's a big wrestling fan, and he showed up dressed as Roddy Piper. Like he had the Piper the Panther shirt with the red on the collar and a kilt, and he had blue boots, like blue fucking like wrestling type boots. So he's committed. He's a cool guy. He's just a little wacky sometimes, but
Wow.
I always see him when he's wasted. That's the main thing. That's why he seems wacky to me, but he's cool.
So he came out to support.
Yeah, he lives nearby, so he came over and checked it out, and then took off after my match. I'm gonna tell the promoter I'm a big draw. There were at least 4 people that took off after my match because they're just coming to see me, and then they're like, we hit the midway point of the show. They're like, this is gonna be another 2 hours. I gotta go home and watch football. It's pretty much what happened. So it's hard running on a Sunday, but whatever. And then
so is the Silverton Casino one of the better? Is that one of your favorite places to perform?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it's they put up a tent in the back of the Silverton. I think they did it during Next Level Chef when I was working there. I think they used our permits for putting up a tent. We paid, like, not me, but like the production paid in order to have a tent up in their area, and then all of a sudden they put one up. I think they used it to their advantage and made like an indoor building. Like, it has AC. It's very nice in there. They have 2 bars, and yeah, it's convenient. It's not far. It's a 10 out back, but you can still get to the casino pretty quick. So yeah, it's a good venue. There's a big stage like that they have musical performances, but then they put a ramp, so and there's a big video screen behind you, so it's pretty decent.
I mean, it's not Lakeview Middle School, huh?
I mean, Lakeview had some big crowds, but like the production value wasn't as good as this was. Like, this looks, and it has good lighting in there. Like, Lakeview just had like school lighting. This has like,
dude, a launch.
Oh no, a live launch?
Fucking launch right now.
SpaceX.
Rattling the shit out of the house. Fucker. Sorry.
I'll put in rumble effects so it'll seem like I don't know, I can't really hear it, but whoa, that's a crazy launch. Whoa, are you okay?
Dude, it's shaking the shit out of the house right now.
No sonic boom yet?
Not yet.
Oh, I kind of hear it now. Oh, this is pretty loud shit.
Nah, you can't hear that, can you?
Yeah, I hear like a... I don't hear it anymore. I think it's my computer now, but I heard it for a second, I think.
All right. So, it's over.
I was noticing they put the fucking nutrition facts. Is this owned by one of those companies that does that shit? So, like,
I can't imagine there's any nutrition in that thing.
It says serving size is 5 ounces, and this is a pint and 8 ounces. And it has 4 3/4 servings per container, and it has 85 calories, 5.7 carbs per container. So, or per serving. So 85 calories times 4 3/4. What the fuck is that? That's like
400 and some.
Yeah, fuck. 400 calories for this? I might not finish it just because of the calories.
What's the alcohol content? It's like 8 or something, isn't it?
7.5 though. So that's not bad. Probably...
You drink a couple of those, you'll be effed up.
Huh?
You drink a couple of those, you'll be effed up.
I bet after one, I'm not like drinking hard like I had.
You might have a headache or a stomach ache or both from one.
It's okay. I've been one more thing about my match, and then we'll move on. So I was wearing the merch during the match. And then I was like,
the tank top merch?
Yeah, I cut off, and then it was the scroll of Turkai or whatever the fuck it's called. The one where it's all like negative. So I was like, yeah, I'll just wear this out. And I wore like just plain black tights and like red knee pads because my team was kind of like that. sort of colors. I was like, let's coordinate. Let's look like a team, not like these losers across from us. And then I've been eating consistently at work, like where I bring my own lunch. I only eat like certain foods. I've been getting in really good shape, probably the best shape I've been in for a wrestling match in years. And then I wore a fucking shirt the whole time. Just wore a tank top, like I'm covering myself up. I mean, I didn't have a great tan, but I was thinking like, oh, I'll take it off and choke the guy at some point with my shirt, and then whatever. But like, I never did it. I just wore a shirt the whole time, like fucking, I was Tommy Dreamer or some shit. Like I don't know what I was thinking. So
trying to sell the merch, obviously.
Yeah, but I did. It's part of the merch. But then I didn't have merch out for sale, so I'm just well, because I'm a heel and I'm a true heel.
Oh yeah, if you're a heel.
If somebody comes up and asks, there was one fan that came up while I was drinking a Miller Lite at the bar area, and he was like, "Oh, hey Judah, blah blah," like talking to me, and he's like, "Can I get a picture?" He's like, "You are one of you're my favorite out here favorite heel or something." I was like, "Ah," and my wife was right there, and she's like, "You should give him a free shirt." And I was like, "Well, first of all, it's in the car. I'm not gonna walk over to the car to get this fucker a free shirt." Like, maybe I'll ask him next time, like, "You want to buy a shirt?" But yeah, if I'm really your favorite. Yeah, I took a picture. He didn't send it. Well, I don't want him sending it to me, but I haven't seen it online yet. So if I find that, I'll put it up. But I probably did like a hand or something.
Yeah, you're developing quite the following.
It's like, this is how it is for me. I go to these shows, and no matter, like, over the years, Billy Blade shows or whatever, it's like there'll be like one weird guy that's like, "Yeah, you're my favorite," and then that's about it. And here or there'll be like some people like, "Oh yeah," like they'll cheer for me or they'll boo me depending on the match. But then there's always just like one weird dude. It's like, "You're my favorite." Like, cool. It's what I always dreamed of. It sounds like
making an impact.
Yeah. One weird dude per show.
Awesome.
That guy's nice though. I don't know if he's weird. They're always front row though, so you always gotta question front row people at indie wrestling, or any wrestling, because once you get up to WWE, it's fucking expensive. So like, how's this fucker affording this? But yeah. All right, and then let me just I'll do a rapid fire on my other topics. So Billy White, you know who Billy White is?
No, I do not.
So I won't say where I met him, and I won't say how I met him, but Billy White, he was a protege of Cutth, I guess. And you know what Cutth is?
Mike Tyson's trainer.
Yeah, the guy that trained him, and then he died, and then Tyson went kind of nuts after. Well, I don't know if it was because of that, but like definitely his career went crazy after that. This guy was a protege, and I had met that guy at a place, and it was weird. He was just kind of, not like I knew him, but I was like, I know who this guy. It was one of those like, I know who this guy is. He's famous, and I know he's involved with boxing, but I don't know who the fuck he is. And I looked him up. So look up, I'll put up pictures. Billy White. He's one of those guys, like, if you see him, you're like, and you've ever watched boxing, you've probably seen him on something. Like, he probably used to be an analyst, or he's always in somebody's corner or something. And he's just kind of this old, like, gruff Italian guy, just like there's a girl, just like a girl around. He's like, I always like to remember a pretty face, and just like talking shit, like just being kind of a creepy old guy is kind of funny. I saw a sign for, this is another topic, moving on, rapid fire. I think the oldies hitting me. The Olympia, the bodybuilding competition, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Olympia?
Yes.
That's in Vegas every year. And this year it's like October 10th through the 13th. And then I was driving by and I saw a billboard, and it said the Renaissance Fair is October 11th through 13th. So the Renaissance Fair and Mr. Olympia or Mrs. or whatever competitions are in Vegas at the same time. Now, like, it's like a bunch of fucking stupid nerds and a bunch in two different ways. It's like people that like to dress up as like fucking knights and whatever. And then there's the bodybuilders that are nerds, like, oh, I'm just always lifting weights. Why don't we combine the two? They're the same weekend anyway. You got dudes dressed like Conan and like the fucking Conan movies. You know, I don't know. That's just a thought. Anyway, moving on. Tomorrow night, I'll give a report next week. I'm going to watch Kill Tony at Resorts World. Have you ever seen Kill Tony?
No, sir. I don't even know what I wouldn't even begin to know what that is.
So Kill Tony is it's a weekly live podcast, live in the sense that
there's a studio audience.
So the concept, and it started in the Comedy Store in LA back in like 10 years ago. So the concept, there's a dude named Tony Hinchcliffe. He's a comedian. He writes for roasts. He's on the Tom Brady roast. He's been on a lot of different whatever. He does stand up all over. He started this show where him and another guy sit on stage, and then they have a special guest comedian. Like they've had Joe Rogan. They'll have celebrities. Like they had Post Malone. Joe Rogan brought Post Malone once. One time Tony Hinchcliffe brought Ric Flair on. I think I sent a clip of that. And Ric Flair, this is recent. This is like in the last year, and Ric Flair was drinking. And he got really emotional, started talking about his dead son and shit. But anyway, so the concept of the show is that there's a panel on stage. It's the Tony Hinchcliffe, his partner Brian Redband, and then usually one or two celebrities / usually comedians. They sit at a table, and they have a few regular comedians come up throughout the show that are like working comedians. They come up and do 1 new minute of material. So it's just like something they haven't done before. They come up, they get 60 seconds to do a new bit and try it out and see if it works. And then they get interviewed after by Tony and everybody, see how their life's going. But then after the first like regular comedian, it's just random people from the audience. So you go to see Kill Tony, like the Wolfpack goes, and say Jesus has had a couple. He's like, I'm gonna tell this. I could do 60 seconds of comedy. He puts his name in the hat. They pull him out. They call Jesus from the Wolfpack is coming on stage for 60 seconds, uninterrupted, and it's uninterrupted. You can't heckle the people in the 60 seconds. If they're just standing there silent, you can laugh, you can boo a little, but like even if you boo, they're like, shut up, he's doing his bit, whatever. And then once 60 seconds is done, they interview you after. So like you could get up and do really well, and they'll interview you. And if the interview goes well, they'll be like, oh yeah, we want you to come back sometime, like sign up again, whatever. But like a lot of times it's people that have never done comedy before, and they think, oh, I could do a minute and I'll tell this story. I'll tell like if I went in and I could tell my story about getting drunk for the first time, and that's like a minute, and then it could just fucking bomb in front of the crowd. And that usually the interviews lead to like, they're trying to lead you into funny things. Like they ask questions like what's your love life like? What's something weird about you that nobody knows? And they try and like through the interview give you some material for next time if you ever try this again. A lot of times it's just like this crazy people that want to be on stage in front of people. Like I sent you guys the clip of the lady from Santa Maria that was at the Trump at the January 6th or whatever Capitol storming. And she got called out by the Santa Barbara News Press or something. Or
no,
Santa Barbara.
No kidding?
Yeah. She's this crazy old lady that was on, and then she was talking about, during the interview, she was like, my local paper was trying to get me fired from my job and this and that. And then they're like, oh, where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm like, it was the Santa Barbara Independent was trying to get me in trouble and blah, blah, blah. And she said, they said I stormed the Capitol. And they're like, did you? And she's like, well, I can't really say. And they're like, oh, shit. And they start talking to her. So it's an interesting show in the sense you'll see a bunch of fucking wacky people. It's like going to, it's like people watching, but they talk, Like,
so are you gonna put your name in the hat to go up and try to do it?
Nah, I don't like. It's at Resorts World, first of all, which is like, and I don't know. I feel like that one, they do it in Austin every week at Joe Rogan's Comedy Club, and then they do these road shows where it's like bigger and like a bigger stage and whatever. And I don't know that they pick people ahead of time, like well ahead, or you just go sign. I don't really know how it works, but I don't think I would. I mean, a minute. I don't know. It seemed like I'd want to practice a bit before I do it, and I don't think I'd want to do it. It'd be weird. But you
might be a rush.
Yeah, it might be fun. You never know.
Might be a good rush.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if I can think up a bit and practice it for tomorrow at work.
You got like 24 hours to try it.
Yeah, if I get drunk enough, before the show, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Or the guy I'm going with, he's very like, he's like, yeah, let's spar, bro. Or like, yeah, let's like, just be really confident about it. You can do it. Like stuff like that in situations where you're like, we shouldn't be doing this right now. So I could see him signing up or being like, let's fucking sign up. Just tell a funny story. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I kind of just want to go enjoy a show. Well, I'll give a report next week, let you know how it went. I kind of bought the tickets. I bought 3 tickets originally because my this guy I worked with, Tobias, he was trying to be a stand-up comedian, but he's always like, I gotta pay my bills. I don't know. And I was like, I'm gonna buy you a ticket, and then you're gonna you gotta sign up, and then you gotta get on stage. Hopefully you get on stage. And he was like, all right. And then I hit him up last week. I was like, are you going? He's like, oh man, I'm really sorry, but I actually met some people at Wild and Out. You know Wild and Out?
No.
It's a Nick Cannon show that was on MTV, and it's like basically like a bunch of like, they have rappers on, and then they have just like people comedians and rappers, and then there's 2 teams, and they kind of battle each other, like battle rap, battle like.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
And they do a live tour with it, and I guess he helped out on one of the live tour shows, and they took him on the road, and he's in like Florida now. So I was like, whatever. That's the goal we were shooting for anyway. You to get on some fucking shows and stop working. I mean, I'm like putting myself out there like I was his manager or something. Like I was just like, I was gonna.
You were doing a solid. You were doing a good Christian duty.
Because he just like we went. You know what it was? We went on all these long ass truck drives to LA and back the same day, and so we were just talking for like 6 hours, like a few times. And I was like, yeah, you just got to do it. Like if you got an opportunity, then go fucking do it. I thought, and I watched Kill Tony. I was like, sometimes people get famous from this shit, so might as well try. But he's on his way, I guess. So I don't know. I sold it to the guy's girlfriend or something. All right, that's all I got. Songbird time now. Or wait, let me turn the AC up. It's fucking hot in here. I don't know. My lady's been turning the AC to 74, and it's killing me. Whew. All right. What do we got, Songbird?
Where do you want to begin?
All right. Well, let me see. Oh, yeah.
Braun Breaker. Let's start there.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk wrestling. So fucking Jimmy J. Uso won the fucking Intercontinental title from Braun Breaker.
Yes.
How the fuck did that happen?
I don't know, and
You didn't watch?
I mean, he won, and he won clean.
I watched the end, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
It was a great match. It was a great TV match, but like I don't necessarily agree with taking the belt off of him that quick. Like he just got it. I thought he could have been one of the most dominant. I mean, he's not going to be hopefully the 667-day champ, like Intercontinental champ, like Gunther was. Obviously, I don't think they were going to go for that, but he just kind of got this championship, and then he had lost the first time when he tried to take it from Sami Zayn. Originally, he lost, so they're kind of like. I think this guy is like a dominant ass-kicking machine, is how he's been portrayed to me. But they've beat him. And I get in the big picture, yeah, he was not going to be Intercontinental champion for a long time. But is he going to go and beat Gunther next? Is he gonna go for a world championship title match? Is he going to get involved in the Wyatt Six? What are you doing with him? Yeah, and Uso, don't get me wrong, Uso deserved it. Maybe Uso didn't deserve that belt. Maybe Uso deserved the world title, but freaking Uso's been a good soldier, even though he's kind of a modern-day Jeff Hardy, a fuck-up. But Breakker could be like the next, like, I think he's in his mid to late 20s, where Uso's like 40. Like, Breakker could be like we've talked about, like a John Cena type. Like, he could be like a Roman Reigns, like where he's just this dominant champion. And I mean, obviously he's probably not going to be Braun Breaker when he's the world champion. He'll probably take the Steiner name on, I would imagine. I would hope. But I just don't agree with where they're going with him, unless he's going to go get it back from Uso.
Yeah.
Which this is a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what I heard from because I don't watch the shows that consistently. Even I was pretty consistent with AEW every Wednesday, but even that I'm kind of like stuff. I'll try and watch tomorrow's show after I get home, but yeah. So I just see clips and then I listen to Wrestling Observer and hear their recaps, and so they were talking about it, and they had a different opinion as far as like they're like, okay, Jay's really over. It was a great moment. Finally won a singles title. It was probably like his biggest win ever in his career. Even when he beat like Roman, or did he beat Roman, or he came?
He got him in a tag match. I thought they pinned Roman in the tag match.
The main event against Roman, and even that wasn't as big as this. Braun, they thought Braun still looked fine. He was fine after. It's like it was kind of, if you watch the match, I guess it was kind of obvious that Braun was losing because he was dominating Jay so hard. And it was like, Jay's a star. He's a top guy. And Braun just dominating like that early in the match is like, oh, this is obvious. Like, if you know anything about psychology and wrestling, that like, oh, if he's dominating that hard, Jay must be winning. So it kind of like, if you watch the whole match, it would have made sense. It was like, okay, he looked really good in the beginning, but then he like slipped up, whatever, lost. And then, I mean, this is just my opinion. It's like to follow. Sammy beat Gunther, but Sammy was kind of like a little transitional champion that's what it seemed like to Braun, because Sammy's done with Braun. Braun dominated Sammy last time or whatever for the most part. And so you can't really make Braun you can't just redo what they did with Gunther and just have him beat everybody for 600, whatever, like you're saying. So for him to lose that quick, he hasn't been champion that long, but it's also like he can win it back. Maybe he probably shouldn't win it back like right away, unless there's some angle where it's like going to progress some other storyline like bloodline shit. But he definitely, I don't know, it sounded like Braun he was fine. And then they're also doing a thing where like he's barking at the crowd and they're all barking back. It's like they're ready to turn him face. I mean, eventually he's going to turn face. I don't know if they're ready right now. So like a lot of times when they're turning people, or they're going to turn people fairly soon, they do they just beat them. They're like, oh, when you're turning into a new character basically by turning from heel to face, they can beat him. And it's like, oh, well, like that was a different guy. Now he's the good guy, and he can.
Maybe even with the new name.
I mean, that would be great. And like they've already set that precedent with Butch, because he was Butch, and then all of a sudden one day he's like, "This is a stupid name, and my name's Pete Dunne," and he went to Pete Dunne again, and like, so they could do it if Braun Breaker was a Vince idea, and Triple H is like, his name's Steiner and fucking whatever, and like, I don't know, maybe they don't want to do that, maybe they want to own the name, but he's already Braun Breaker on, like, so I don't know. Pete Dunne was somewhat famous on the Indies before, but yeah, it's weird when a guy, like, he played in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So, like, why not just go with this NFL player and look at his stats, and here's his rookie card and blah, 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 and then, like, you're going to turn, and then his name's Braun Breaker now. It's, like, fucking weird. I don't know why they do that. It had to be a Vince/marketing thing, but, like, there's some lady that won Olympic gold in wrestling, and they renamed her. It's like, what are you doing? Like, that she, like, not this past Olympics, but the Olympics before. And she, like, just made her debut, and she has a fucking weird name. It's like, what's the point? What do you like?
So ultimately, you don't think that's going to end up hurting Braun in the long run?
I mean, it doesn't sound like it, and like, yeah, I don't know. It's a top guy. It's not like he lost. If he lost to, like, I'd even say like one of the Wyatt Six, and it was like, these guys they're more like a gimmick than like good wrestlers for the most part, or if it was like, I don't know, who's kind of a jobber these days, like Akira Tozawa. If Akira Tozawa beat him, or like, I don't know, just
Chad Gable.
Yeah, even Chad Gable. He's not the as Jay's like one of the top guys on Raw. Like, who are the top guys on Raw? Top faces: Cody, Sammy, Kevin Owens, and
Raw.
Yeah, I don't even know who's on. I feel like he's on that he's on SmackDown, right? So, yeah, who are the top heels on fucking Raw then? It's Jay. Jay's like the top heel or top face. Who's the top face? It's Jay, right?
Or Sammy.
Or who's the fucking Gunther's the champion? Who faced Gunther? Randy Orton? I guess, but like, he's not even. Jay's more of a babyface than Randy Orton is, but.
So it was so what happened was more about doing right by Jay than anything else, and Braun was just the cannon flat, the in the crossfire of it.
Yeah, I haven't really kept up. Like, I thought Jay would be involved with the bloodline shit, but apparently he's on Raw, so he's doing his own thing, kind of, or what?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it seems like he's. And then the Damian Priest, he's a top face over there, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like it's going to do more damage in the short term. I mean, this isn't like Goldberg beating the Fiend, obviously, but it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they could have done more with the first title reign of Braun.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like why. I just want to know why they did it, or why would he win? Like, there's got to be a reason, like, other than just like, Jay's the champ, you know? Like, is the bloodline gonna come over and toss him the title or something? You know, like something weird, like to set up him doing some
War Games.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Or like, is he feuding with the like Finn Balor or something? Kind of right now. Like, he was supposed to be like hanging out with Rhea Ripley, right? So maybe feuding with Dom, and then
maybe that would be a way to get the belt to Dom, huh?
Maybe that's it. Like, that's kind of like, because stuff does tend to make sense more now, logical booking. So like, it's not like Vince just woke up and was like, I like Jey Uso, like put the title on him, and then next week I'll beat him with this person. Like, it's more like there's a reason that he won, and that Braun, like, probably more so than that Braun lost. It probably was like, we need Jay to have the title. We need to get the title on Dom, so we'll have Jay win because everybody loves Jay, and then when Dom beats him, they'll make him hate Dom even more.
It'll be some kind of dastardly, cowardly way that Dom takes it from Jay, and then Jay gets screwed.
Yeah, and then Rhea and Liv can continue, and everything continues.
But meanwhile, the badass, the next big thing, Braun Breaker is jerking off.
Well, I mean, they could turn him face. They need more faces, probably.
Oh, that's the face turn for him to go take on Gunther?
Maybe eventually. I mean, yeah, and they could even do, like, he could just have a good match with him and then lose, and then still, like, he's probably not ready to be champ, but yeah, just continue.
Okay.
I don't know. That's my guess.
Well, I got it off my chest, which is
nice. What else you got?
I'm working on writing a book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I sent you, let me find it. I sent you the title, How to Play Winning Football by Chris Adams.
Yeah, I see that.
By Chris Adams, not the Songbird, not the Grease Father, Chris Adams, the third face.
90s Lompoc football, Chris Adams.
Icon, 90s icon of Lompoc football, legend.
Put that picture up.
Put my picture up from that high school yearbook as a pace setter. So I know a thing or two about playing defense. And I know a thing or two, Chris Adams knows a thing or two about defense and playing football. So my book, there's 3 simple philosophies that I strive to teach my team. The most important thing to play winning football is protecting the football. When you're on offense, we secure the football. We don't turn the ball over. When we have to have a play made, we don't be throwing interceptions. We don't fumble. We take care of the football. The most important thing on that football field, the ball. So we have to protect the ball. On defense, we want the ball. So that leads me to my second thing. Be aggressive and attacking on defense. Hello, defense. And then number 3, run the football. Run the football. Not very complicated. A lot of times coaches confuse themselves and they confuse their teams by having too many plays, by overcomplicating things, by not protecting the football, by putting the football in harm's way.
Yeah.
Just simplify the things. When in doubt, revert back to my 3 simple and easy philosophies. It's not only for football that will make you a winner, but that will make you a winner in life. If you follow my 3 winning football tactics, you'll be a success. Obviously, you'll be a success in Madden. You'll be a 90s Lompoc icon. And you'll be a success in life. When in doubt, you don't need to have a big-ass sheet of plays. You see those guys are the coaches, and they're getting their plays, and they're hiding their mouth.
Why you don't need to hide your mouth if you're playing aggressive football, protecting the ball, and running the football.
Run the football. You don't need 120 plays. You need like 20 plays.
Go ahead, figure it out.
Hey, so let's put my theory to the test. To my favorite subject in life, the Eagles.
Yeah.
Last week, the Eagles did not follow any of my philosophies, and what happened? They lost. They didn't protect the football. They lost the turnover battle. So that's one thing that you always want to win is the turnover battle. You don't want to give the other team extra possessions. So they didn't do a good job of protecting the football against the Falcons. They didn't run the football successfully against the Falcons last week. And they sure as hell were not playing aggressive and attacking style on defense.
Jesus.
Are you calling my mama right now?
I'm calling your mom. Hello?
We got to freaking be aggressive and attacking on defense. So.
What it was either a baby or a raspberry. Okay, I gotta go. I'm on a podcast right now. World famous. Bye. Sorry.
So going back to point 2 is being aggressive and attacking on defense. Why do I harp on that? Why is that like my biggest?
Yeah, what's
because the offense, those guys are sissies. And
yeah.
if you put them in a bind and you make them uncomfortable, they don't like that. Yeah. And if they're not comfortable, they're going to turn the football over. Right. You're going to attack them. You're going to put them in bad spots. You're going to dictate to them. Okay. Right. So the Eagles of last week, when I was going to jump off the bridge and I didn't think they could win another game where Chris was wrong. You fast forward to this past Sunday, and did the Eagles run the ball? My God, Saquon Barkley looks like the NFL MVP. They ran the ball so hard. They were running the ball. I was getting freaking hard on watching them run the ball. They ran the ball with conviction. Unfortunately, they didn't protect the ball because they lost the turnover battle. Usually when you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game. But they got 2 out of the 3 right because I don't know. I think the Eagles must have watched the podcast. We called them out hardcore.
Pretty sure.
They were a brand new defense. And I got to tell you, I'd have to draw it up, but they ran on defense, an aggressive attacking style of defense that was invented by Buddy Ryan. No bullshit. And I can prove it. We'd have to get the clip up, but I can draw it up. I can kind of draw it up.
You can add the clip later.
So
the Ryan clip.
They called the defense that Buddy Ryan invented is called the bear defense, the bear front. So what that means is you have these guys covered like that. That doesn't, like, if you know football,
yeah,
that's the bear front, invented by Buddy Ryan, the most aggressive, attacking defensive coordinator, defensive coach known to mankind. So that in that front, that is a real motherfucker of a front. That dictates to the offense because you can't double team guys there. So they really, I don't know. I mean, I know we've talked about Buddy Ryan in the past, and I know I mentioned him last week because they were so chicken shit last week on defense that Buddy Ryan is probably turning over in his grave. Jim Johnson, who was a mastermind, a little bit of a different defensive coordinator than Buddy Ryan, turning over in his grave, watching how piss poor they were on defense. But this last week against the Saints, when they jumped into that bear front, oh my God, I got a freaking hard on. I was like, and that's like swagger, that defense. And those guys played that defense to the T, which I didn't think they could. I didn't even know they were going to do that. That was beautiful. That was aggressive, attacking defense.
Huh?
So they won 2 out of the 3. They got those 2 out of my 3 philosophies hot, right on. So if they would have got the 3rd one right of protecting the ball, they would have blew the Saints out of the water. But I'm just happy that they won. I wish I would have been down there on Bourbon Street, because that's like the coolest place on earth. Bourbon Street, it's really neat. It's a really fun experience. So running the football, I was getting a hard on watching Saquon run, and he ran so hard. but I was getting an even bigger one with freaking that defense. Oh my God, I didn't think they had the personnel to run that kind of a defense. That is like, I hope we see more of that style, that bear front, the 46 deep. So it's called it's a bear front. That's because that's the front that the defensive line plays, but it's also called the bear. Because Buddy Ryan, he was the coach of the Bears when he invented it. So they just called it the bear. And
okay.
That is a freaking motherfucker of a defense right there. That is a dictating defense to an offense right there, if ran properly. And the Eagles this past week against the Saints, I don't think the Saints must not have been expecting it. So if you do some, now the Eagles have it on, they've put it out on film, so now teams might be ready for it. But I don't know if you've ever heard of the '85 Bears, the most dominant defense ever.
They did the Super Bowl shuffle. Correct.
That's the defense that Buddy Ryan created.
They got William Perry into the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal.
Yeah. That's right. So we can't hit my music right now. I'm going to sing a little bit.
Yeah? Ready?
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Yeah.
Catchy song. What a cat. That was the original version right there. It's a catchy song. So every time the Eagles win, we get to sing that song. You know, it doesn't get old to me. I know the audience, you know, you guys care about my tonsils getting sore, and I know I didn't warm them up. But it's a good win. Good win. Almost as good as Hulk Hogan beating Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7.
Yeah, that was a good time, too.
So speaking of WrestleMania 7, I had the kids over, and I was kind of watching them, and I was like, you guys need to watch some wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two boys were here, and the older one, the 7-year-old, he wasn't really paying too much attention. And I put on the semi-co-main event of the career-ending match between the Ultimate Warrior and the Macho Man, Macho King, Randy Savage. And then the 5-year-old, when the Ultimate Warrior come down to the ring, and he wasn't like typical Ultimate Warrior. He walked to the ring, and he had his duster on. Then he got in the ring, shook the ropes a little bit, took the duster off. Then the 5-year-old looks at me, he says, "Is that guy real?" I was like thinking, what do you mean, is he real? He said, "No, is he real?" I was like, "Well, yeah, he's real. What do you think?" So a 5-year-old's first opinion of the Ultimate Warrior was like an action figure come to life, or I didn't like kind of understand what he was asking, but like the Ultimate Warrior was a big ass dude, huh?
Yeah.
Nobody looks like that anymore. Like nobody looks like the Ultimate Warrior. So for Peyton to ask, "Is this guy real?" I was like, wow, he must think this is like a cartoon or something, a gimmick.
Yeah.
That's my WrestleMania 7 story for the week.
Oh, that's awesome.
So let's throw another running the football where Chris was right. Derrick Henry. Oh my God. He ran right over the Dallas Cowboys. Throw some clips of Derrick Henry. There's one, he's into the secondary. He did a stiff arm and knocked the Dallas Cowboy guy back like 8 yards. King Henry was on tap. He was on top this week. Oh, he ran so hard against the Dallas Cowboys. And look what happened. The Baltimore Ravens came to play some football, Baltimore Ravens style. Aggressive attacking defense. Running King Henry up the Dallas Cowboys' asshole until he couldn't run anymore and not turning the football over. Baltimore Raven, Lompoc high of the 90s, football. Winning football. Success in the football field, success in life. Follow the simple formulas. Keep it simple.
Yep. That's what you got to do. Keep it simple. The same in wrestling, same in everything in life. Why are we convoluting everything? You got to keep it simple.
So one that I wanted to follow up on one of our previous episodes. I think 2, 3, 4 episodes back, San Diego Comic-Con. Has anything else come out on what was supposed to possibly be the Mattel exclusive?
No, I don't think so. I did see there was some. I'll have to think of what it was, and it probably doesn't have anything to do with us. But there was some kind of like thing that popped up that was like, oh, this SDCC exclusive, and I was like, why is that out now? Like, what is that? It was like maybe it was like leftovers from the show that I never saw. Some kind of weird figure. I think it was like a NECA figure too, but I don't know what it was. But yeah, I haven't heard. If I ever see Matt Cardona in person, that's the one thing I'll ask him. The major podcast should have been out today, so I'll probably listen to it tomorrow on the way to work. But yeah, I haven't heard. My thought was, I think we talked about this, a Jesse Ventura figure, because he's like on the cusp of signing a deal now. So I think maybe my idea was, oh, it's an election year and they could have done fucking Governor Ventura, or they could have just done like.
They had options with that. That's a good one.
Signed, they could do Governor Ventura if they wanted to, but they would definitely do like Commentator Ventura. They could do several of that because he had crazy looks with that, and then they could do they do this line on Mattel Creations. They did the first one with Ali and Gorilla Monsoon, and then Billy Graham and Harley Race, and it was called the Territories or something. They could do one of him when he was in AWA. He was a big jacked up wrestler. And then they could do a Predator one if they were doing the movie shit still. They got a lot of options with him, so I thought it might be him, but I don't know.
Stay tuned then, huh? Stay tuned.
Or the Rocky thing, which people thought it would be, and I didn't see any backlash. I don't really look that hard though. I haven't seen any backlash where it's like, oh, why didn't they do the Rocky, like have a Sylvester Stallone figure or whatever, but I don't know. But yeah, with Sylvester Stallone, they just have to do straight Rocky figures. Like he's never done anything in wrestling really, so that wouldn't make sense really either. I don't know.
Right.
Be more like they could do a one-off with like Hogan and as Thunderlips and Rocky and like maybe Mr. T as Clubber Lang. Do a 3-pack.
3-pack.
I don't know. Yeah, other than that. Oh, should I do a new segment called Figure of the Week?
Yeah.
So I got my ringside order, the first of 2. And I want to know your opinion. So I'm not going to show the whole order so that I can stretch this out. And like maybe I could do a quick talk about wrestling training, and how to continue my series. I'll do Figure of the Week first, and then we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't do it. So Figure of the Week is the fucking Sandman.
Whoa, ECW original.
Yeah.
Wow.
So are you a big Sandman guy? Because I feel like this should be one of your favorite wrestlers. And I know he only had a brief stint in WWE, and it was past like his prime years probably. But here's the thing. Here's why I think the Songbird would like him. First of all, he's a Philly guy. He's like the typical Philly guy. Like when I think of a Philly guy, I'm like, he kind of has an accent, Philly accent. He walks to the ring, drinks, like he comes with 4 beer cans. He's walking to the ring. He's wearing like Zubaz pants all the time, pretty much. T-shirt, staying comfy. He smokes a lot of cigarettes on the way to the ring. He didn't come with cigarettes because it's a Mattel figure and they're fucking jerks. But like drinks beer, loves sports. Did you ever see the clip of in the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan doc, when I think Jordan must have won in Philly or like somewhere nearby, and there's like Jordan walking around the hotel or whatever, And Sandman's with the group of people following him. He high fives Jordan. He's
No,
like,
I never saw that.
yeah, he's a fucking legend. He did
Wow.
get on the when he went to WCW, he got on the juice, and he started like beating up his wife a little bit. So that's not good. But other than that, that's a Philly thing probably too. So like
he was probably talking out of turn.
I mean, you never know. So like, yeah, I think you should do a deep dive on the Sandman. He had some great he had a couple great matches. Maybe one of the best is him and Sabu. They had this crazy hardcore match in ECW when he was on. He did some acid. He dropped acid and was just did crazy match with Sabu. Did some crazy shit. So yeah, Sandman.
You gotta throw up the X for that.
Figure of the week. I'll probably open it up and put it on my shelf because I got an ECW shelf started with. I got RVD, Cactus Jack, and Terry Funk. Got to add him, and then there's a Dudley Boys set coming out, so I'll probably put that up there because I got WCW, WWF, WWE, whatever. Yeah, we'll see. That's the figure of the week. I'll stretch it out. I got like 4 more on my last ringside order, but yeah, keep it going.
That's exciting shit right there.
Yeah, it's good shit, pal. And this is the normal one, but there is a chase where he's wearing American flag pants, but it's not quite accurate because I guess he has a red tank top underneath. If you take this off, it's just a white tank top, but he never actually wore American flag pants with anything but a red, very particular shirt. And so I don't know. Some people are weird.
And we should just be happy they made the figure, huh?
I mean, it's pretty awesome. They had a Stone Cold with a can finally, and then this fucker comes with 4 cans because he never went to the ring and killed less than 4 beers, So it's very accurate in that way. People make aftermarket shit, so you could probably get ahead with like blood on it because he'd bust the cans on his head and then he'd start bleeding before the match even started, which is kind of like something to aspire to. Like nobody does shit like that anymore. Where like his whole thing was his entrance, and then the match was like it was all downhill after the entrance usually. So the match had to be either chaotic or like just quick or something, They usually had okay match, like they were exciting. There's a lot of cane shots, but whatever.
It wasn't a scientific class. It wasn't a
very rarely. But like, I don't know. You like when I've had a few beers and I throw on the YouTube and Sandman comes up, like, okay, let's try this out for a little bit. And he has there's a legendary, so he went to WCW, and then when he got fired or quit, and he came back to the ECW, nobody really knew he was coming back. And suddenly, like, the lights went out, and when they came back on, he was standing there up in, like, the crowd, like, up in the rafters. And I guess it was, like, one of the, like, everybody, like, Raven, everybody that was there has been in front of a bunch of big crowds, but they were like, that was the biggest pop anybody's ever gotten in the history of that they've ever been there live for. And it, like, if you watch it, it's like, it is pretty amazing. And they don't play music until he cracks his first beer, and then they start playing Enter Sandman, and then it's pretty epic. You got to go check that out.
I got to look that one up. I'm going to have to look that one up. I got to see that.
He looks like he's big and jacked and tan because he just came from WCW making good money, juiced up, So
yeah,
good time. But yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, part 2, independent wrestling.
Oh, I was hyped up so I was thinking about it. I was talking about promoters last time, but like, so one of their tricks is you gotta start training, right? So training's like one of the biggest scams in wrestling because former wrestlers, they'll be like, oh, you gotta like, and there's like this consensus. I think people will go, oh, you like, I went to Lance Storm, so like, if you put me against fucking, think of another person that trained by a nobody, and that, like, somebody that never made any money in wrestling was trained a guy, and then I'm trained by Lance Storm, so automatically people are like, oh, Lance Storm, like, I know him, but it doesn't mean anything, because I mean, it does in the sense that Lance Storm, he was a great trainer, and he trained Tyler Breeze and like Dom Mysterio and a few others. He trained them from like, he gave them their first bumps and whatever, and like they went on to WWE and they made some money. But it doesn't mean anything who your trainer is. It's more about, I think from what I've seen, it's more about, it's good if you have a good trainer like Lance Storm where you learn properly. But for the most part, this shit is like learning on the job, and it's a lot of like, oh, how much are you willing to put in? Are you gonna like, do you have the drive? It's like anything in life. Do you have the drive to do it? Because if this guy down the street that you've never heard of that just has a ring in his backyard, and you're just willing to go there every day and like even like surpass that person's ability to train and just go to these shows and like learn from people before the shows and all this shit, like, you're gonna be better off than you went to fucking Kane has a wrestling school, or Booker T has a wrestling school. It's like, who's Booker T ever trained that's gotten signed? Like, there's been a few, but I don't think it means anything who your actual trainer is. It's more about the person and their drive and all this shit. Like, for example, there's this dude that I used to help train people a little bit, because that's one of the scams of these promoters. They'll go, well, I can't really train. Like, I can't train tonight. I'm doing this or that. I'm busy. So they got me to train new guys. So like a new guy would come in, I'd be like, I'll meet you at the ring. I'll show you how to do basic shit. So then like there's a dude named Buddy Royal that was on some of the local shows. I helped him like do his first few like training sessions, bumps, whatever. And he was really good. He's just naturally good. So that's another thing. Like, you could just be naturally good. It's like, I don't know, it's like football or anything else. It's like, sometimes you're just naturally good at shit. You're just a natural athlete. You're a natural, like, you understand how to do this shit. And some people just don't get it, no matter how much they train and try. It's just easier for some people. So this Buddy guy was like great his first day, and then years later he went to New Japan camp, and they brought him into the dojo, and he was in the dojo forever, and he didn't get along with a trainer or something, and like it didn't work out. Well, like, he made it farther than I ever have, and he was trained by me, and then like a little bit by me, and then like mostly by Billy Blade, who's not really ever done anything of significance. So it's like training's kind of a scam. I don't know. It's more about
So it's more of the person, what they have in here.
Yeah.
Than the guy that they give that $3,000 to.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm sure there's somebody I can't think of, or I'm forgetting, that went to Lance Storm school that did really well and became famous and whatever. But you know, like, it's not really about where you train. It's more about like, are you good at all the shit that gets you over, or gets you money, or people? It's a lot of scamming people, you know. I think everything in life is just a scam, basically.
Or a work.
Yeah, everything's a work. Everything's a scam. Like.
So how do you work? How do you work the scam, or how do you scam the work?
Yeah. That's all it is. That's all everything is.
When you figure that out, that's when you're on top.
Everything's a lot of confidence. Like I never worked in a warehouse. I went to this interview to get this warehouse job, and I was like, they're like, have you ever worked in a warehouse? I was like, I worked at Sears, and the lady laughed at me. She's like, Sears? And I was like, yeah, it's been closed 20 years, but I fucking worked at a Sears. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, I'm really great. I could do anything, blah, blah, blah. And they gave me the fucking job. And like 10 years ago, I'd probably be like, I don't know. Like I'd do a shitty interview and I just pretended like I knew what I was doing. That's kind of what wrestling is. Just like everything. It's just like everything else in life, but it's more obvious and people talk shit about wrestling, especially indie wrestling, because it's just like fucking goofy and you're not really tricking anybody into any real money. But like WWE's tricking people into some real money. And it's just it's confident con artists, you know. But I figured out long ago everything's a scam. College is a scam. Money's a scam. Money's not real, you know. Everything's fake. It's just you know, like the gay porn guy said the other night. He's like, I love that shirt that says God is fake but wrestling is real or something. It's like Randy Savage doing an elbow on Jesus or something, you know. That's the moral of the story here. Indie wrestling.
And with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
I don't know if I should finish this beer either. It's very malty.
It might be warm.
It's not great. It's fit, and I feel the 500 calories too. And I'm not even like I'm gonna have a shot of whiskey and go to bed, I think, instead of finishing this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea, pal. Vince McMahon documentary tomorrow.
Huh?
Is the Vince McMahon documentary tomorrow?
I wanted to talk about that, but
do you want to save that? Huh?
What?
Do you want to save that for?
Yeah, just last note is that Vince put up a fucking tweet, and I thought I sent it to you guys, but I didn't, I guess. But it was basically like he's getting ahead of this because it's gonna make him look real bad. So I'm excited. I think if I don't watch, I'm not gonna watch tomorrow. I think this weekend I'm gonna watch like all of it. I'm gonna take a day off, watch all of that, and maybe the Dump Matsumoto. You heard of Dump Matsumoto show? So there's this crazy Japanese wrestler called Dump Matsumoto in the 80s, early 90s or something. She was like the biggest heel woman wrestler of all time, like anywhere in the world. And people fucking hated her. And they made a Netflix like TV show about her. It's like 6 episodes. It's supposed to be really good. That came out like last week, and then the Vince shit's coming out tomorrow night or tonight, any minute now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna save it up and just watch 6 hours of the Vince documentary and 6 hours of the Dump Matsumoto. That's how my weekend's gonna go. I'll get full report next week. I think you should because you, Patrick, I don't know if any of you guys have the Netflix, but you have my code, right? Well, don't tell anybody.
I don't know what you're talking about, pal.
You have Netflix now, and you should do a screening. You should set up a screening with Pat or whoever if they want to come over and or do it at Pat's or something. Because
good idea.
Have it, and I think I signed into my mom's to have it, but they never watch it over there. So I don't know. That's something you could do. Yeah, I'm excited.
So we got some topics moving forward.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Exciting time to be a podcaster.
Segments now. This has got to get viewers. And I think I'm. What's up?
3-0 in fantasy football. And 2-1. I lost one. I lost one. So 3-0, 2-1.
Still in it.
Still in it. Chris's picks are working.
Can't beat Chris's picks.
You can't beat Chris's picks. I'm still waiting for all my thank yous for all you guys that I helped out.
Motherfuckers.
And now, hit my music and put me with the Simpsons. And maybe don't forget my short on the freaking YouTube
Oh shit!
The
Yeah.
start of the short. How random is that? That I'm just going through YouTube and I just happen to come across that short. Myself.
Like views probably.
I was super confused. I was like, I think that's me.
They're like, did we make this? And they're like, no. And it probably has like 1 million views or some shit. You should put in the comments, that's me.
Green shirt guy.
And then put
Cool
a link
Kicks.
to our podcast.
Yeah. We should get those guys on the podcast, Rami and Frank.
That's called marketing. That's our scam. That's our scam.
That's our work.
That's all anybody does nowadays.
They just work you.
Yeah, we got to work the workers, work the marks into the shoot. Dumb marks.
Dumbass marks.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
We'll be in touch. Have a good evening. Have that shot of whiskey for me, too.
Oh, and then it's over.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later.
I had to do a remake. Hey, and the Songbird doesn't always sing either. Fly, eagles, fly, fly, fly. On the road to victory. Fly, eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. I had to do a remake, do a new version. Now my vocals, I didn't even warm up my vocals for that one. Now my tonsils might be sore. You might have sore tonsils. Comment down below if when you sing you get sore tonsils. Hashtag sore tonsils. All right. Hashtag sore tonsils. Get your official merch. Hey, I wore my merch to the draft, and it was giving freaking people was wondering if I was like some religious freak because I had my cross on too. I thought it was like,
oh no.
Yeah, it was great.